Hi, so for this session, if you've got them, we're going to use a ball and a band, so a leg band, slightly harder resistance. If you don't worry, you can do it without. So I want you to start with the soles of your feet together. And if this is comfortable on your knees, you want to have the heels as close to your pubic bone as you can, and then we're sitting up really nice and tall. So hold on to the feet or the ankles, and we're sitting up as tall as you can from the crown of your head, trying to get those knees to slightly drop down. If it's not comfortable on your knees, bring the feet a little bit further away, and then we're sitting up nice and tall. And you should feel a stretch through your groin, inner thighs, and just take a few breaths. And then we're just going to drop your chin to your chest, make your head really heavy, relax your shoulders, deep breaths, relax your tongue and jaw. And then coming back up to sitting. And then we're going to come down onto your back and just start by hugging one knee and the other into your chest. Give yourself a hug, rock the legs from side to side. And you can make little circles with the knees. So stir both the legs round in one direction, giving your lower back a little bit of a massage into the mat. Breathing into it. And then back the other way. And then resting your feet down on the floor, have the heels as close as you can get them comfortably to your bottom, and then just give your pelvis a little tilt backwards and forwards. So lowering the lower back, squashing it into the mat, so you're lifting your tailbone slightly, and then rolling back through, not going too far. Tip yourself forward to a natural arch in your lower back, so you're not forcing an extra arch. So just do a few of these, rolling backwards and forwards. And then settling in the middle. So arms are lightly down on the floor, and I just want you to start by lifting one leg up into tabletop, draw your tummy down and bring the other leg up. And then we're placing the first foot down and the other foot. Okay, so just alternating. Start with the other leg if you can remember which one you started with last time. Coming up with one leg. As you bring the second leg up, you're bringing your belly button down towards your spine. So there's no wrenching in the lower back as the second leg comes up. So we're breathing out to lift the legs up. Breathe in to bring them back down. You could alternatively, you could come up, breathing out, take a breath in at the top and then breathe out to come back down again. Let's do one more. And then the next time you come up, I want you to bring one leg up and the other and then glue the legs together. Bring your arms out to the side and then we're very gently taking the legs from side to side. So as you turn the legs one way, turn to look away from the legs. And if you feel like your shoulders are trying to lift away from the floor, bring your hands a bit lower down towards your hips. So you can keep the shoulder blades down on the mat or the floor. So breathing out, draw your belly button down, squash the lower back into the mat. And we're not launching the legs from side to side, we're controlling them, squeeze them together. 4, 3, 2, let's do one more. And then rest one foot down to the mat and the other. Make yourself nice and long and just have a stretch out for a moment, arms and legs away from each other. And take a couple of deep breaths. And then bending the knees back in. This time we're going to do our leg circles. So this is where if you've got a band, you've got the option to use it. So I'll show you with and without. We want to have the thigh bone directly above your hip socket, so not too close into your chest and not too far away. It doesn't matter how bent the knee is, but we want your thigh bone straight above your hip socket, and then we're circling that leg round, leading with your heel. Imagine a board or a piece of paper above you, and you're making circles in one direction, keeping the opposite side completely still. So your other hip stays anchored to the mat and your knee stays pointing up to the ceiling. And we're doing 10 in both directions. If you've got the band and you like to feel like you're controlling the leg and guiding it with your hands, you put the band over the ball of your foot and exactly the same, but you're going to have your arms controlling the leg, so you're slightly pushing into resistance. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way you do it, with or without a band. You're trying to lead with that heel and get as much range of movement as you can, as long as you can keep the other hip anchored to the mat and the foot planted to the floor. And that other knee is not trying to drop out and counterbalance you. So breathe into it. 10 in both directions. And when you've done your 10 both ways, we're going to hug that knee into your chest, lengthen the other leg long, and just take a few breaths there. Okay, and then we're switching. So get yourself set up on the other side. Thigh bone directly above your hip socket. Relax the toes. With or without a band, we're circling that leg round. Keep the other hip completely still. The knee pointing up to the ceiling and the foot planted to the mat. Breathing into it, 10 in both directions. And notice, do you feel different in one side? Do you have more range of movement on one side, or is it more effort? We're just trying to go within your range, so don't force it. Breathing into it and trying to make as smooth a circle as you can. Deep breaths, relax your jaw. 10 in both directions. And you're gently drawing your tummy down. You shouldn't be lifting away in your lower back from the mat. And again, when you've done your 10 in both directions, you're going to hug that knee into your chest this time, lengthen the other leg long, and take a few breaths. Lovely, and now we're going to bend the knees, have your feet flat. Just going to move my ball so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to take the arms up to the ceiling. Your palms are facing each other, and then you're lifting the shoulder blades up off the floor and then slotting them back down so you can feel them fully supported by your mat or carpet or whatever you're lying on. Your palms are then going to face forwards towards your knees, and you're taking the arms straight behind you and floating them around to the sides just off the floor. And then back up to the ceiling. So breathing in, lift the shoulder blades up off the floor, slot them down, palms forward, breathe out, take them straight behind, float them round. If there's any tight bits, just slightly bend the elbows on the way round. Okay, and you don't want to be overarching the back as the arms come behind your head. You want to be able to keep that lower back comfortable. So gently draw your belly button downwards as the arms come behind your head. Get those shoulder blades slotted down onto the mat as you float them round. Legs are staying still, feet are still. We're doing 3 more. So breathing in to float up. Slot those shoulder blades down. Breathe out. Take the arms as far back as you can comfortably. Palms are facing forwards and then up to the ceiling on the way round. Let's do 1 more after this one. And then resting the arms down. I want you to turn onto your side now. So if you need to have a cushion for your head, I want you to have a nice long neck. So rather than being hanging like that with your head falling down, either put your arm there to support your head with a bent elbow or a straight arm, or if you've got a cushion or towel, you could put it there as well to support your head. What we don't want is this hanging feeling. So bending your knees, you want your heels in line with your bottom and your spine. and set yourself up, a slight little lift in your side waist. So push that top hip away, feel that sensation of slightly lifting your lower waist, and try and keep that little lift all the time. So we're lifting the feet off the floor, put the hand onto your top hip, and we're breathing out to open up that top knee, breathe in to close it down. So when you're doing this, make sure this top hip stays still. We're not rocking all the way back and opening up the knee as much as we can. You've got to be able to keep that top hip stacked on top of the lower one. Breathing out to open, breathe in to close. Look straight ahead, don't look at your legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're doing one more. And now I want you to add to this. So you're breathing out to open up the knee, breathe in, lengthen the leg away, breathe out, feet together, breathe in, knees together. We're doing 5 more. So 4 movements, 4 breaths. Breathing out to open up the knee, breathe in to lengthen the leg, breathe out, feet together, breathe in, knees together. Last 3. Remembering that lower waist is still slightly lifted. 2. And last one. And then rest the legs down, bend that top leg up, give the hip a break for a moment. And then we're going to lengthen the top leg, keeping the bottom leg bent. Bring that top leg to hip height, and then we're flexing the toes, sweeping the leg in front, pointing and coming just behind the midline, so no change in the lower back. Breathing in to come forwards, breathe out to go back. Still slightly lifting that lower waist. Looking straight ahead and try and keep the leg at hip height. Try not to let it drop down. Sweep it as far in front as you can, flexing that foot point and come behind. 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bending that knee once more, rest it down, give it a break. And on the next exercise, you've got an option to use the ball if you have one. So we want to make ourselves nice and long. So ankles, hips, knees, shoulders are all stacked. And then again, we're trying to make that little lift in our lower waist. If you've got a ball, you're going to put it between your ankles. If you don't, just have your legs together. And then we're going to lift the legs off together. So you've got the option to put your top hand lightly down on the floor or arms straight up to the ceiling if you've got the balance. So we're taking a breath in, breathe out, lift and lengthen those legs. Okay, so you're lifting both legs together, gently squeezing the ball, or the legs are glued together. Squeeze your bottom and then resting back down. Okay, so as you lift off, think about the lower waist. You're making yourselves as long, your legs as long as you can, height from the crown of your head all the way to your feet. Breathing out to lift off, breathe in to lower them down. Squeeze your bottom, draw your tummy in, relaxing your jaw, looking straight ahead. Resting down, last 3. 2. And last one. And then take the ball out if you're using one. Bend your knees, arms out in front of you, palms on top of each other. Breathe in to reach that top arm away. Breathe out to open the arm up and try and get the back of your hand down to the floor. Deep breaths. And then back over. So your head is turning with the arm. Breathing in to reach forward, breathe out to open up. If you want to add to the stretch, you can extend your top leg away, straighten it up, or just keep the knees bent if that's more comfortable. Breathing into it. And then one more. Breathe in to reach away, breathe out to open up. And then coming back over, and then turn yourself over onto the other side. So if you've got your ball, bring it with you. So we're starting with our clam, so heels, bottom and spine along the back edge of the mat. Get yourself rested down onto your arm or cushion or towel. Right hand onto your hip, and then lift that lower waist slightly. Feet come off the floor. Breathing out to open up the top knee, breathe in to close it down. So looking straight ahead, keeping that little lift in the lower waist. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, resting down. And then we're going to come up, opening, breathe out, breathe in, lengthen the leg, breathe out, feet together, breathe in, knees together. Last 4, 3, keep that lower waist lifting, 2, and last one. And then resting down, bend that top leg over. Well done. And then we're going to come into our sweeping. So your bottom leg stays bent, top leg long, bring it up to hip height. And then we're flexing the toes, sweep the leg in front, point and come just behind. So breathe in one way, breathe out the other. Lovely, keep going. Last 5. Try not to let the leg drop. 3 more. 2. And last one. And then bend that top leg up once more. Well done. Okay, so making ourselves nice and long again, with or without a ball. Make yourself long, stack everything, and then your top hand is lightly down or arm up to the ceiling if you've got the balance. And then we're lifting and lengthening those legs. So draw that lower waist up away from the mat, squeeze your bottom slightly, make yourself nice and long from the crown of your head, and then resting down. Okay, so we're doing 6 of them, breathing out to lengthen, breathe in to come back down. You've got the ball and you want to work a bit harder, you do a little bit more of a squeeze on the ball. Last 3. 2. And last one. And resting down, and then push the ball away if you've got one, bend your knees, arms out in front, breathe in to reach away, breathe out to open up, get the back of your hand to the floor as close as you can and look towards that arm. And then coming back over, breathe in to reach forwards, breathe out to open up, add that leg extending away if you want to, or keep the knees bent. And then coming back over once more. And then coming back over, and then we're going to come onto our backs, and I want you to If you have a ball, put the ball underneath one foot. Let's start with your right foot. If you don't have a ball, that's fine. You don't have to use it. You just have your foot flat on the floor. Have the hands on the bony bits at the front of your hips, and your knees are tracking straight out of your pelvis, so they're not too wide, your feet. And then I want you to start opening that right knee out to the side. So breathe, I'll show you with the other leg to start with, that's easier. So we're dropping the knee out to the side, keeping the other leg completely still. So breathing out to open, breathe in to come back. And the other hip stays anchored to the floor, okay? With or without a ball, that's the same. You need to keep that other side completely still. Now I want you to bring the foot that's not moving, or the leg that's not moving, up into tabletop. And we're breathing out to lengthen that leg out long as the knee drops out to the side. So I'll show you from this angle so you can see properly. One knee's dropping out, the other leg's going straight ahead. So breathing out to open everything up, breathe in to come back. Now the lower that long leg goes, the harder you're going to work through your tummy. So you've got to be able to keep your lower back in its natural arch, make sure it's comfortable. If it gets uncomfortable, you can't control the lower back, take that long leg higher. So breathe out to open up, breathe in to come back. Gently draw your belly button down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resting that foot down and then switching. Move the ball over or just start to open up that other knee. If you don't have a ball, breathing out to open the knee, breathe in to bring it back. And then we're going to bring the other leg up into tabletop and straighten that leg out. This time the other knee drops out. So breathe out to open up, breathe in to come back to the middle. Relaxing the face and jaw, breathing. Lovely, we're doing last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Come back to the middle and then push that ball away if you've got one. Feet are flat on the floor, heels as close as you can get them to your bottom. Arms are lightly down by your sides or onto the bony bits at the front of your hips. We're taking a breath in, breathe out, tuck your tailbone, peel yourself up all the way to the tips of your shoulder blades. Gently squeeze your bottom, reach those knees over your toes. Push down through your big toes. Deep breath in at the top and breathe out, soften from your breastbone. Curl yourself one vertebra at a time, all the way back down with your tailbone coming down last. And again, tuck that tailbone, squash your lower back, peel yourself all the way up to the tips of your shoulder blades. Relax through your face and jaw. There shouldn't be any weight through your neck. It should be through the back of your shoulders. Reach those knees over your toes. Deep breath in at the top and breathe out to curl back down. Now on the next one, I want you to try coming up as you just did. So curling up, reach those knees over your toes. And now we're going to take one knee out to the side. So you're turning onto the outside edge of that foot. Keep the other leg still and switch. So breathing out to open up the knee, breathe in to bring it back. We're doing 3 on each side. If your bum is dropping and you can't keep yourself up there or the lower back's uncomfortable, take a breath in at the top and curl yourself back down out of it as you breathe out. Okay, you want to feel strong doing this. Deep breath in, breathe out, curling down. If you feel like you're sinking, then that's your cue to curl back down and reset. We're doing it again. So deep breath in, breathe out, curling up. Taking one leg out to the side. Okay, so listen to your body. If this feels really hard work, do 1 and then curl back down out of it. If you're okay up here, we're going to do 3 more on each side. Breathing out to open, breathe in to come back. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep breath in, Breathe out, soften from your breastbone. Curl yourself all the way back down again. And then very gently hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a rock from side to side. And then staying hugged in, I want you to take a breath in. As you breathe out, reach your arms and legs away from each other. And then sweep the arms round, hug the knees back in. Okay, so the options here are you go high with the legs. If it feels really hard work on your tummy or lower back, draw your tummy down. Hug the knees back in. We're breathing out to open, breathe in to come back. If it feels okay, you want to work harder, the legs go lower. And then hugging everything back in again. So the legs are going straight out. The next level from that would be to lift your head, breathe out, and breathe in, hug everything back in again. Rest your head. Okay, so listen to your body, draw your belly button down. If the lower back can't stay controlled, take the legs higher. If you are lifting your head, keep that nice space between your chin and chest. So we're looking straight up, we're not pinching our chin to the chest. We're doing last 5, 4, 3, 2, make sure you're breathing. And last one. And then resting down, have a nice long stretch out. Now if you have a ball, I'd like you to loosen up your neck here. If you don't have a ball, we're just lying flat, and I just want you to very gently turn your head from side to side and then pinch your chin to your chest and then maybe lift your chin up to the ceiling. If you do have a ball, you can do this with straight legs or bent legs. Put the ball right at the top of your neck, well, right in between your shoulders and your head, really. It depends how big your ball is, but if it's not too big, make your head really heavy, relax your tongue and jaw, and then you're turning over the ball. You can turn from side to side or make circles and just breathe into it. Stop at any tight patches and just breathe. Okay, and then from here, if you're able to, we're crossing one ankle over the opposite knee, threading through and lifting that thigh off. You can straighten up that top leg if you want to stretch out your hamstrings a bit, or just relax that leg. And just tilt your pelvis forward a little bit so that you're creating an extra stretch through the glutes on that side. If that's not comfortable, you can't actually get the leg off, hug a knee into your chest and bring it across towards the opposite shoulder instead, okay? Breathing into it. You can stay here. If you've got a ball, you can stay here as long as you want, rolling your head around, just relaxing into it. Breathing. And then switch and do the other leg, so either crossing over and interlacing behind the thigh, or hug the knee into your chest and across towards your opposite shoulder. Okay, and then relax that leg down. And if you've got a ball, you're welcome to stay here, moving around on it, relaxing. If not, have a nice long stretch out, arms and legs away from each other. You could do the banana stretch where the arms and legs go one way, and then hook the foot over the ankles. If you were turning the arms and legs to the left, your right foot would hook over, and then the other way. And we're all finished. Well done.